Hi, my name is Jake, and I am a bookish drummer. So for this video, I will be doing a quick little review for The Running Man by Stephen King or Richard Bachman. This was our April pick for the Stephen King book club run by myself and Ian from Ian the Reader. And we've already had a few people, including myself, either reread this book or read it for the first time. And we've had mixed results. Some people really love this book. Some people kind of like it. Some people think it's okay. It's kind of a little bit of a divisive book. I don't think it's a lot of people's like all-time favorite Stephen King book, but at the same time, it's not a lot of people's least favorite. It's kind of somewhere in the middle for a lot of people, including myself. Although I will admit this is not a favorite Richard Bachman. I think there's 7 Richard Bachman books. This is probably honestly my second or third least favorite. Definitely my least favorite is Rage. That's always going to be my least favorite, but for me, he has a ton of great ones like The Long Walk, Road Work, which I know a lot of people don't like, but that's my absolute favorite. Thinner, I really love. Blaze, and The Regulators, I think are all great. But this one, I probably like a little less than all of those, except for Rage. Still my least favorite. This book is also interesting in a lot of ways because it's just very different from what Stephen King normally writes. And I'll get into a lot of that in the review. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first off, what do I think of The Running Man? I already mentioned that it's one of my least favorite Bachman books, but overall, I still think it is a good book. I would rate this 3.5 stars. I think maybe upon my first read, I gave it 4 stars. But I think the more that I read it, the more I realize it's just such a depressing book. Somehow, even though I've read this book 3 times, I always forget how depressing this book is. Whenever I, say that someone should read this, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a fun Stephen King book. Like, it is, but it's also very depressing. So what is this book about? Like I mentioned, this is very different from a normal Stephen King book. First of all, this book was written in the early 80s, but the time period that this book takes place in is actually the year 2025. And so right off the bat, Stephen King does not usually write futuristic books. If anything, he's going back in time, like going back, like Itch. A large chunk of that book took place in the 50s. 11/22/63 was all about the JFK stuff. Or, he's more comfortable either writing in the present time or in the past. This is one of the rare instances where he decides to write in the future. And the future of this novel is very bleak, to say the least. Even somehow more bleak than what the actual year 2025 looks like. And it's also very different just because this book is more of a dystopian novel and also more kind of a sci-fi novel, if you will. It's all about this guy named Ben Richards. And yes, I had to look up his name because I forgot. But it's about this guy named Ben Richards. And he's kind of just, he's having a tough life. He can't get a job. His baby girl is sick and he's got no way to pay to get her treatment. So he decides kind of as a last ditch effort to go on this game show called The Running Man. The catch is basically it's what the title suggests. Like, you're running away from people who are trying to catch you and kill you. The longer that you're able to avoid detection and to stay alive, the more money you earn for yourself and your family. And kind of the idea is that if you happen to stay alive for like 30 days, you win $1 billion. The problem is no one's ever been able to do that. So while they are able to get money for their family, they do end up dying. But Ben Richards is determined to get that $1 billion. And, do things go well for him? You'll have to read and find out. But this book It's also very different just because pacing wise, it's very different. Stephen King normally does not mind at all sitting in a scene, sitting in the mind of a character, and just kind of letting it play out for what it is. That's why a lot of his later books, when his editor probably just didn't care that much, just page like hundreds and hundreds of pages, and like It is 1,000 pages. The Stand Uncut is over 1,000 pages. Some of his books can be quite lengthy, have very long chapters and scenes that seem to go on forever. Not with this book. This book, it's 400 pages. There's 100 chapters. It's very quick moving, like from scene to scene. Not a lot of time spent in the characters' minds necessarily. It's more plot based. And yeah, it's just a very odd Stephen King book. Like, it's dystopian, it's futuristic, it's fast paced with short chapters. What the hell is going on here? It does take a little bit of time to actually get to the Running Man game. Like, maybe like the first 20 or so chapters are all about him kind of coming to this decision of doing it, and then getting to the game show, and then getting prepared for it. He has to take a bunch of tests to be qualified for it. So it's a little bit of Stephen King-esque that way, where it's like, it's not right off the bat, like fast-paced and crazy, but once the game gets going, it pretty much doesn't stop, because he decides to do it, the running game starts, and he is on the run from people who are trying to kill him, and he's very clever in getting away and doing all kinds of stuff to stay alive. So if all that sounds good to you, you'll probably enjoy this book. There's also been 2 adaptations. I almost forgot about the new one. I haven't seen the new one. Just came out recently. The old one was actually an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from like 1987. From what I remember it being very cheesy and very different from the book. I saw it as a kid, and I didn't really love it back then. Maybe I would get a kick out of it now, just because it's probably just straight up 80s Schwarzenegger cheese, but I don't know. The movie, for me, felt very different. Maybe the new movie does the book more justice. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but let me know down below if you've seen the new movie and how it compares to the old one, how it compares to the book. I don't know. But yeah, there's all that to take place in this book too. But yeah, basically, in summation, I do like this book. I don't love it. It is one of my least favorite Richard Bachman books. I give it 3.5 stars. It's all about this guy named Ben Richards, who I now remember. And it's dystopian, takes place in the year 2025, which was interesting. And he's on the run. He's doing this dystopian game show, and he's on the run for his life, trying to make money for his family and his dying daughter. And it's very depressing. So go into that knowing that, because somehow every time I go back to reread this book, I always forget that it's just kind of a depressing mess. I always think of this book as more fun, but really, when you get down to it, it's just kind of depressing. So if you're into that, then check out this book. All right, so that is my little quick review for The Running Man by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. Definitely let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I said here. Do you love The Running Man? Do you hate The Running Man? Or are you like the majority of constant readers and think that it's good? Like, it's not bad, it's good, kind of somewhere in the middle. I forget where I put this on my ranking, but it's got to be like not very low, but also not very high, kind of in the middle-ish. It's pretty good. I'll say that much. Next month for the Stephen King Book Club, because this was our April pick, and you still have time to pick it up too, because we're kind of in the middle of April, so pick this up if you want to. But next month in May is actually going to be new Stephen King release month. Woohoo! Still releasing books. He's still alive, writing books. Unfortunately, I'm not really that excited for his next book, which is going to be Never Flinch, which is yet again another Holly book. It's going to be the sequel to Holly, following Holly Gibney yet again. Maybe this book will be an improvement, but my expectations are sadly very, very low, like basement level low. I'm not. I mean, I'm always excited to read new Stephen King, but this time I just have very low hopes for it. But it comes out in late May, so we're going to be doing it for the Stephen King Book Club. Even, like I mentioned, even though it's late May, most of us constant readers are going to read it, pick it up on release day. I believe it's May 27th, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. Well, you can't check it out because it's not out yet. And also, if you want to get caught up, I do have a video kind of explaining what to read before Never Flinch. I don't know if you'll have enough time to read all of them, but it's there for your enjoyment. But yeah, Never Flinch, that's going to be our pick for May. Again, the Stephen King Book Club run by me and Ian the Reader. So that's next month. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. And if you're already subscribed, stay tuned for more content. And as always, Friday, Stephen King videos. So next Friday, I'll have something cooked up for you. What is it? I don't know yet, but it's coming. It's coming. And Bookish Tournament Discord, where the Stephen King Book Club takes place every month. We have channels open for discussion for all of the book club picks for the Stephen King Book Club. And down below, we have Patreon link where you can support me there for as little as $1 a month. And Amazon wishlist if you'd like to buy me a book. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.